Good morning, good night. It is race day. Let's go. We are walking in along with the rest of the Orange Army, and we are going to see if Max Verstappen can take on Norris or if the car in orange is going to beat the Orange Army. Let's go.
So it took a whole day of traveling, but eventually we made it to Zandvort. Wet, windy Zandvort. And, we'd come in soaked from being outside, and at the hotel they'd just laugh and say, "Welcome to the Netherlands." It was just funny. So we were there. We were a little jet lagged. We took a quick nap at the hotel, and then we headed over to the track. Now, the hotel we ended up staying at was right across the street from the track. A little on the expensive side, but worth it because you were just right there. So Thursday is sort of a media day. There's not really anything happening on the track, but we were able to see some of the F1 Academy drivers, and we met Leah Block. She was super cool. She talked to us for a while. She ended up signing our hat and our pit pass. We wished her good luck in the race, and of course, as Americans, we told her we got to support her. F1 Academy pit stops, much slower than an actual F1 pit stop. So these seem to be done more on the side here, and they do take quite a few seconds. We found if you kept your eyes open, you might recognize some people. So the other reason we were here on a Thursday was because we had Paddock Club access. So we were able to access the pit lane and then even take a ride on this thing around the entire track, which was absolutely a highlight. You got a whole new respect for the track, and especially at Zandvort, the incredible banking that they have on some of the curves. I really enjoyed this.
Pierre Gasly!
I mean, you just don't get this at any other track, and they only brought this banking in a few years ago.
This stadium section here looked like a great place to watch also because you really could see a lot of cars coming through for a long period of time.
And, this will be easy flat out for them.
This is so banked here. This is wild.
I mean, when we race here at GTs, it's not quite as easily flat out. Flip that wall in the race.
And the other value of the pit pass is, of course, being able to see pit lane and see the teams actually working on the cars. It's a Thursday, so they're not doing anything really aggressively. They're not repairing crash cars or anything like that, but they are, taking things apart, putting it back together, getting ready for the day, getting ready for practice tomorrow. Pretty cool to stand in front and see everybody do that. Then after that, they funneled us into sort of like a pit party that had food and drinks that was included in our package. And the food was decent, little snacky type things. So we ate some and drank some and just more or less enjoyed the evening. It was pretty cold, but, after a couple of drinks, you start feeling a little better. And the final highlight of the pit pass was that we were able to see the actual cups. So the Constructors' Cup and the Champions' Cup. Pardon me if I'm gushing a little bit here, but definitely very cool to see Lotus listed on the cup for the Champions, Constructors' Champion. And then, of course, I love this section right here. Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher just right next to each other. Just two of the best drivers ever. Of course, they're featured there, but it's funny they just ended up next to each other, despite being a decade apart. Thursday night had one more surprise for us as we bumped into Nico Hulkenberg, and he chatted with us for a little while, ended up riding the elevator up to the same floor as us. Pretty cool guy. Friday, free practice 1 and 2, another wet day. One thing we had read in advance of coming to the Netherlands was be prepared for unpredictable weather, especially around the coastline of Zandvoort. Well, at least we packed our ponchos. We were set for that. One thing we would do was check the weather from our window before we decided to head out. And, if we saw the rain letting up a little bit, okay, let's put on our stuff and go. And I'll tell you what, the Dutch didn't care. It was raining, and they're out there having their party, listening to DJs. The Dutch love to party. I was blown away.
Here we are. This is free practice 1 in the rain and wet, although it stopped for the moment. It's still really windy.
Yes.
And we're watching these cars fly by.
Nico is coming.
Oh, Nico just went off. He's staying in the same hotel as us. We wished him luck. We still wish him luck. Let's see.
Coming.
There we go. Go, Nico.
Gotta be honest, I'm not a big fan of this loose rock and dirt foundation that they had here. This apparently counts as a good walking surface for all these fans, but it was everywhere around Zandvoort. When it was dry, the sand and dirt would blow in your eyes from all the wind, and when it was wet, then it was mud. So, not ideal. Not my favorite part of the trip. Finally, the weather cleared up and it became a nice day, and then suddenly the fan zone was just absolutely packed with the Dutch fans going crazy with all the DJs. We had some time before the DJ we wanted to see, so we did a little bike ride, got some food, checked out things, felt very local, and just look at this hilarious bike parking here. This is for thousands upon thousands of bicycles. I mean, the Dutch, give them credit, truly get around with bicycles as a primary source of transportation. It's really awesome. They were absolutely limiting taxis and other cars from the streets here around Zandvoort because it just wouldn't be able to handle the influx of vehicles. Our surprise on Friday was Mr. Oscar Piastri. We bumped into him as we were parking our bicycles, and he was running into the hotel. He didn't have much time for us. He was in a hurry, but we did get him to sign a couple of things and take some photos with us. Thanks, Oscar. So your Formula One ticket also includes access to all of the fan zone activities like the DJs and bands they had throughout the event. I'm going to go ahead and say that Armin van Buuren was awesome. So notable Dutch DJ, pretty famous. It's a name certainly that I knew prior to coming here. A lot of the other bands were very, I would say, local. Some of those other acts, for example, sung in Dutch. So, we were less maybe interested in seeing them as, coming from the U.S. But I will say Armin put on an amazing show, definitely crushed it, and it was a great experience. And the Dutch, I said it before, I'm going to say it again, the Dutch love to party. They're definitely out there. I mean, they had their kids and everything. I love this guy, this Heineken guy with his little flag. So they just walk around selling beer in the crowd. I love it, man. They come to you. This was the first drone show I've actually seen live. It actually was pretty cool. It was up there for a while too. Put on a pretty cool show.
That's a circuit.
And as we were heading up the elevator one last time for the night, we ran into this guy, Damon Hill, world champion.
Good morning, good night. Today we are in Zandvoort for the F1 qualifying. And as you can see, we are going crazy around us. I love this guy over here. He's great. Let's go! Woo! Hamilton just went out in Q2. What is going on? Oh no! And Carlos Sainz. Ferrari is struggling for pace here in Zandvort. All right. Oh my God! People are going crazy. Oh my God! People are going crazy. Norris just bested Verstappen at the last moment. There might be a few more cars out. We'll see if this stands.
Here's your top 3 qualifiers. Norris, followed by Max, followed by Oscar Piastri.
Everybody is scrambling to get their ponchos on. If you look over there, you can see why. It is about to get wet real quick. Say hi.
Hi.
F1 Academy did their formation lap, sent everyone out. However, they didn't get right back to the start, and it really started pouring. And then it was delayed start after delayed start, and eventually they canceled the race and rescheduled it. We went home wet. So even though we were cold and wet, we went and had a beer at the pub, bumped into a couple of flag marshals, drank with them. Tim had already done 12 races this year for F1, which is pretty unbelievable. And then, of course, who walks in? Well, the flag marshals introduce us to a friend, DC, David Coulthard. That was pretty cool. And even though we were feeling pretty lucky when we went to work out in the gym a little bit at the end of the night, Andrea Stella, the McLaren team boss, was down there. He was super friendly.
Good morning, good night. It is race day. Let's go. We are walking in along with the rest of the Orange Army, and we are going to see if Max Verstappen can take on Norris, or if the car in orange is going to beat the Orange Army. Let's go.
Here's a little known fact. The Porsches are louder than the F1 cars. The guy had his Apple Watch on it, registered 112 decibels as they went by.
Oopsie.
Cheers to me, 40 years and countless beers. And I'm laughing my butt off over here. This guy over here, after Logan Sargent crashed in qualifying, this guy showed up on race day with Logan Sargent fire crew shirt that he handmade. Max got ahead right off the line.
Half the crowd is very unhappy at this. Oh, wow!
In second place from the Netherlands, Max Verstappen, his third second place of the year. But the winner, Lando Norris, his second win of the year after Miami, handing his honour.
So, of course, we stayed to the end, but we had no desire to go and wait in this absolute cluster down below. I guess it was just a pinch point in the way some of the walkways came together, but it was so crowded. So we thought we were just going to wait, have another beer until that dies down. And when things finally did die down, we took our walk, went down to the fan zone for one last time to see whatever DJs they had at the end of the day on Sunday, and then eventually had a nice dinner after that. Oh, and did I mention this yet? The Dutch like to party. Decided that after putting up with me, the wife earned a fancy dinner, but it was an absolute trek to get there. The sand is blowing in our eyes as we walk down. It's really, really windy. It's hard to explain. Would you care for a bit of sushi, madame?
Good morning, good night. We're passing the Lotus location, Amsterdam.
All things said and done, we finished out a few days and went over to Belgium, met some family, explored Antwerp a little bit. And, how was the trip? The trip was great. We ate some good food. We drank some good drinks. We saw a spectacle in the Dutch Grand Prix. We enjoyed it so much. We spent time wandering around both Zandvort and Antwerp. We went back and forth from Belgium to the Netherlands with ease on trains. Do I recommend it? Yeah. Take a week. Go see an F1 race. Now, truthfully, the coverage of the race is better at home. You can see who's in first, second, third. You want to follow a particular driver, you can see it on screen at all times. When you're there, you just see that little section of track, and hopefully there's some action happening there. And if not, you got to watch little screens. But the feel of the event is there, and it's fun. And where else are you going to be there with just other like-minded fans? That many, And of course, you can spend a ton of money, so I don't recommend spending more than you need to. But go have a good time, explore the world. There's plenty of good stuff out there. And when you're done with all that, go back and go drive your Lotus. Or drive whatever you have, man. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Just enjoy what you have. Thank you, Amsterdam. Thank you, Zandvoort. Thank you, Dutch Grand Prix. And thank you, wife, for an awesome birthday present. This one, well, I guess it's a special one because I'm 40 now, but this one takes the cake. All right, everybody. Good morning and good night.